Hello! My name is Jennifer Bracis, and I am the creator of Mystc Rev. I just wanted to do this video as like a little sort of mini history of Mystc Rev in terms of the artistic process, as well as the way to introduce the format change from the old book one to the new book one. So when I started drawing Mystc Rev, I used to draw in these 8.5 by 11 sketchbooks, and though I couldn't find the sketchbooks, unfortunately, for the purpose of this video, you can see what the artistic process was like in the graphic that I'm going to post below in this update. Essentially, at the time when I started making Mystc Rev, I was a junior in high school and I didn't know anything about making comics. So I basically was a huge fan of Mega Tokyo at the time, and his art is still amazing. But the way that he would do his comics is he would take an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and then divide it into 2 large panels, and then paste the art from those panels into the template of, the panels with borders and stuff. So I just assumed that that is how people made comics, and it's not, or at least not most people. So as a result, being a poor high school student, I couldn't afford to waste, and I don't want to say waste like that, but to me, I was like, oh my god, that's a lot of paper. So I did a borderless, really rough version of the page on the sketchbook, and then I would roughly take the art out of that and then paste it into page panels that I would make in Illustrator. Again, which you can see in the little graphic below. Eventually, I transitioned from there to actually drawing the panels with borders, thank God, in the actual sketchbook, which, again was unfortunate because because it was 8.5 by 11, it's a lot wider a format. Nowadays, I draw everything on these 11 by 17 comic boards. So I think this is a page from not Monday, but last Friday. So it's really cool because you get to have much bigger art, and you can fill in a lot more detail and stuff like that. And it just looks really pretty. There we go. Oops. Whatever, I'll get that later. So as a result, though, the 11 by 17 format, it really fits a lot better in the new format of the book, which is taller and not as, here. This is, there we go, 1/2 inch wider than the old book. The ratio of 11 by 17 just fits perfectly into this size. So when I would do book 2 and book 3, which is when I switched to the new format, the problem was that a lot of the art would get just cut off. You can see, on this page, for instance, you would actually see her mouth in the panel. If I didn't have to cut off 1/2 inch to fit it in this wide format. So I really, book 4 is going to be in the new format, and eventually when I reprint book 2 and book 3, they will be updated for the new format as well. The nice thing is that because I now have 1/2 inch of space that I had to fill, I was able to space out, add that to the comics. So you can see, it makes it just a lot easier to read now because there's definitive gaps in the artwork in the panels, as opposed to prior where it was kind of just one big mush of stuff. So it all, because yeah, again, when I started making comics, I didn't know anything about how to make comics. And it's just, you know, really cool to go back and just update the old art, so it's all pretty nice. But yeah, and again, by update, I mean, like, for the most part, aside from a few pages where, for instance, these splash art pages I had to redo. There we go. There's the camera. So yeah, like, this page I redid just because it has to bleed off the edge of the page, and as you can see in the original, where is it? There were just too many little tones and stuff like that, so having that extra ½ inch of white just would have looked really bad and gross. Other things, I updated the cover, obviously. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to, with the later books in particular, the original idea with the covers was to show them transitioning from, like, their real life outfits and what, you know, their attire to what their like in-game avatars outfits and everything like that. Kind of a cool just juxtaposition thing. And you know, you can see very clearly in the book 3 and book 2 that the line is quite obvious where, you know, his original outfit starts and where the game one starts. But with the original cover for book 1, it's only her arms that are transitioning. So most people just never got that is what I was doing. And we're just like, why are her arms glowing? That's weird. So I changed that around. So now it's all pretty and shiny and exciting. And yeah, I mean, you know, I will probably, as the Kickstarter progresses, post some more art updates of other cool stuff that's been added. I mean, you know, I don't know. For the most part, I'm just, like, really happy with how it came out. And, you know, I just wanted to give you guys a little update on the history of how things were done and how stuff is done now. So, you know, you get a background on how it all works. So, thank you guys so much. You know, the Kickstarter is going on for another, I don't know, 15-20 days or so. So, you know, keep passing it to all your friends and just doing what you're doing. And I'll keep updating. Yeah. Thank you.